This I ran across, read this, I believe it's in your literature. It's, this is business is the highest form of business because I'm managing stuff that is under my control with stuff that isn't under my control at all. The environment, the economy, I have to deal with that, but I have to deal with it for my business. So I have to, I'm an orchestra conductor doing that. About the system, purpose of the system, I need to develop, if I'm in business, I need to develop a focused management team. If you have more than you've got to have that meeting and divvy up the duties and responsibilities and determine the problems I have that are holding me back. I need a team, just like a sports team, no different. I need to achieve these objectives: profit, revenue, smooth operations, and everyone around that table has a specific area of responsibility that they need to take care of. My objective, again, is coming back: revenue growth, profit growth, operations. And initially, I need to focus in, I need to start my list of what are my problems in this business. What is holding me back from achieving my objective? On this business, you have to have a burning desire for growth. You have to commit and implement this system. You have to be motivated, and ability to complete tasks. And what I have down here, this isn't optional. I will not even take anybody on ego, know-it-all attitude. Forget about it. I'm not even interested. You have to be totally committed and committed to your business. I want to create results. Bottom line results, top line results, smooth operation results, whatever, all of it. You have to be totally committed to do that. Otherwise, this will not work. It's a very hard attitude, but I have actually in the past, I have given the system away months at a time to very intellectual, very good people, various businesses, doctors, and I have failed because they knew it all. They knew better than me. I've got a $2 million medical business going belly up. Very smart guy, will not listen. I've got a real estate company that had unlimited funds from the Far East to do construction. They're going broke. They went broke, and they won't listen. I was even at a meeting where I was trying to mentor them on a weekly basis. I was told to be quiet. Just do the accounting. And remember, accounting is history. You're not going to make any money you've already deposited it in your bank account. You're not going to make another deposit from history. You're going to only make money and deposit from the future. We need to really focus on revenue growth. If you don't grow the top line, it's going to be hard to grow that bottom line. So it's basically, how do I increase growth? How do I structure double, triple-digit growth? How do I get on the Inc. 500 list? What did those businesses do that I can do? You have to really have a product or service that people want. It can't be a business that I think you should have. It doesn't matter. It's what you want. That's what I'm selling you. Again, you have to translate to that bottom line. There's no two ways about it. Basically, when I look at it, I tell people, don't focus in on trying to control the expenses on postage stamps. Your big areas are labor and facilities or rent. Now rent, how much can I control it? I've committed to a lease. I'm locked into that money on the rent, so I can't control it. I can control my labor. I can have that production handled by somebody else or whatever. I can figure an easier way to do this job. But you have to analyze. I always look at the first 5 top things. Can I squeeze them? Can I change them some way to increase my results? Operation controls. Basically, I want a smooth running operation. Any problems I need to fix so it runs smooth. Nobody's going into a crisis that management has to refocus their attention to fix these things. One of the things I do is you've got a lot of problems. There's a couple elements I look at. How much is that problem costing me? How much, if I fix that problem, what will it cost? And if I fix that problem, what kind of benefits will it kick out? So some of my problems cost me a lot of money to fix, and I don't have it. So I drop down to number 2 or number 3 because they cost very little and they create a better benefit. So I'm really looking at a cost-benefit analysis on what problems I tackle first. And again, coming back, we need decent systems and procedures to implement and have the business run very, very smoothly. We're really in the business of developing, again, a management team that really carries out the job of the business. If you're a manager, I don't want to have to micromanage people to get a result. I want to, I'll give you a clear example. Today was the first time I walked into this room. My assistant, I told her roughly where I wanted to give a talk, arrange it, and she handled everything. Now, that made my life pretty easy because I only had to show up and give this talk. I didn't have to mess around with any of the logistics on how do we do this. So you really want that in an organization. My marketing person, who I just hired, after firing the prior one, facilitated all of you to show up. I didn't have to do anything. I want smooth running systems that I can focus in on what I need to do. There are jobs that you have that you look over your shoulder and you cannot find a person to do that job. That is your work. Until you find a person to take that job. I tell business people, your job is to figure out every year how to do less. To figure out who can do this job for me. Clear example for me, I do very little tax work. I even do less accounting work. Other people do that for me. I like doing taxes. It's fun, it's relaxing, challenging, but I don't have time. I've got other things to do. And I don't have people to do those jobs yet. So my job is to get me out of what I'm doing right now, even speaking. Again, I'm looking to grow the business. I want to know, what's my business? What am I doing? Am I going forward? You know, if you're an athlete, I want to be in the Super Bowl. I don't want to be the most losing team out there. Most of the businesses out there are losers. I once was at a conference with other CPAs and I got curious. What percentage of your clients listen to you and execute what you tell them to do to increase the value of their business or the profitability of the business? The highest percentage I got going around the table was 10%. And that's really bad, because basically when I increase the value of somebody's business, they're better off, a lot better off. And I'm better off because I've got a good client, a happy client, one moving forward. Like I tell my clients, you are no good to me poor, you are only good to me rich. The richer you are, the better clients I have. And what you do with your money is up to you. But basically, you're a producer. You've got the brass ring. These are some of the areas that you really need to focus in on inventory. It's a big area in certain businesses, non-service businesses. Prioritizing of your problems and operating problems. You really want to detail what problems I have and then refocus to fix those. Yeah, I would recommend that if you want to really look at the cost. Do I really understand my costs of doing business? Can I minimize those costs? One of the things for this meeting, one of the things that I liked when I developed it was basically Monday morning at 10 o'clock, we had the meeting. I produced the agenda. I had what was said was going to be done last week, and we went around the table. Now, it wasn't me or the owner who said you were going to do this. You said you were going to do it. So it was total accountability on your part. No one at the table wanted to go around and have their turn come up to say what they did. I didn't do anything. I just screwed around all week. I didn't hear anybody say that. Everybody executed, and what you find is once you start executing, you have very little to do. You have a system, whether it's production or marketing or finance, you have a system in place that automatically is handling things for you. Your operation, your area is running smooth. What we had is we had everyone that represented each of the functional areas at this meeting. It worked quite well. When you link this with the metrics analysis, and the reason I did the metrics linked to this was basically I am taking the human out of the equation as much as possible. I'm having the business tell me where it's sick and what the possible fixes are, and the human to carry it out. That, if you look back, that's what IBM is really doing with the supercomputer Watson in the medical area. It's reading every medical journal and every remedy and every outcome, patient outcome that it can get its hands on. So when you ask it a question, what is my solution for my heart condition, say, the computer will spit out an answer. Now you have a human that takes these possible solutions that this computer that read everything in the journals on this condition, take it to that doctor, give it to that doctor, who then really looks at, this is good. I didn't think of this one. Or this one I've tried in your condition and I've had these kind of problems. So you do have a human interplay, but you have a suggested solution to start with. It makes a lot of sense to me. Rather than relying on some individual who cannot read all of the information out there on whatever the topic is and say, I think we should do this. That's a guess. Again, here's our strength. For me, this is a real fun area when you're working with somebody that you can create results. When you're not working with somebody, and that's why I have my requirement down there, it's total frustration. I have seen too many businesses go bankrupt, broke, out of existence, just from individuals saying, I know more than the professionals or the systems or whatever. And I have not found it working. And that's why I really developed all of this system, is I need to create a result in a business that is double to triple digit growth. If we do our jobs, work together, that's what is achievable. If we really go head to head, you might as well just pack it up and leave, because it won't work. Because if you look at all of this, the same as a professional sports team, you've got all those guys out there, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball, they all have their individual job to do. And basically, I have to count on that guy over there to do his job, and that guy over there to do his job, so I can do my job. If they fail or they're duds, I'm in deep trouble. So basically, you really have to build a team, a well-managed, well-run team, where you as a top manager, you should not have a lot to do, because all the guys around the table are really, really smart in their particular area. Like, I don't know I can read a lot of books on marketing, but I'm never going to be, I don't have the DNA bug or the DNA molecule in my body for marketing. It interests me, but I don't want to spend the time there. That's why I have a smart marketing person. That's what you need. Smart marketing, smart production. That's what it really works. Again, high growth is what our game is. Efficient operations. You want a continuing operation. Essentially, you want to be able to grow your operation such that you can go out on the street and hire a very competent manager to sit in your seat. You're on a beach down in the Caribbean with a cell phone sitting on the table, got a margarita there, reading a book. If that cell phone goes off, you have screwed up because there's a problem. You should have had a system in place to fix that problem. You should have had a person there that handles that problem. So basically, if that cell phone never goes off, what I tell people is you fly back mid-December, say, meet the manager, meet the management, simply say, okay, you guys were paid your salary to do this job. You were paid $250,000 to make me $1 million a year. You didn't do that. You made me $1.5 million. For making me $1.5 million, you were paid $250,000 to make me $1 million. That's what you got the salary for. The bonus comes for the other $500,000. So basically, you compensate, you share with the people. On the other side of the hand, you really say, okay, what are you going to do for me this year? Well, they come back and say, we'll make you $1.5 million. We already did that. I will say, no, I am not happy with that. You already can do that. I want more. I want $2 million next year. So the situation, I didn't do 2 million, I did 2.5 million. That's what you're really looking for in execution of a business, is basically those people surprise you very pleasantly on the production results that they produce. If you're interested, be happy to talk with any of you, discuss your business situation. It's not a difficult system. It comes down to, in that book, Turbo Growth, it comes down to, our original form was an 8.5 by 11 form once a week. And I revised it to expand the lines a little bit. Now it comes down to about 2 or 3 8.5 by 11s once a week. That's it. The fee for the whole thing, it's basically setup fee. I've got it pegged at $5,000. Basically, I'll do it on a percentage basis, 2 ways. 10% of the profit. You made $10,000 last year, or $100,000 last year, and this year we're making $1 million. Okay, we did a good job together. My fee is $90,000. Okay, if you're not happy with $900,000 or $910,000, or is at 810,000, then this program's probably not for you. The other way to do it is you just want us to come in and set up the fee, set up the program, and have you execute it yourself. However, whatever way you want, we do it on an hourly rate basis. Any questions? I answered everyone's question. What I find is this business is a lot of fun. If you just want the book, just send me a note. I'll make you a copy of the book for $50. But what I found is you have to be committed to implement the business. Otherwise, it won't work.